Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Testing. Hello. Hello. Hey Siri, call Jennifer.
Calling Jennifer. Mobile.
Hello. Testing. Testing. Testing.
I hear you. I can't see you.
Hear what?
Well, your camera is adjusted.
Well, I'll adjust. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thanks.
It's delayed, but it's,
Bye. Salutations and welcome, my friends. Can everyone hear me okay? Jim Wagner, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello?
I hear you.
Salutations and goodwill, my friends. Lovely to be with all of you on this stormy California night. Ooh. Good for ducks to get together and quack. So tonight, of course, the mystery, the magic of the star tetrahedron, a supremely amazing form of consciousness and light that over many, many incarnations, we learn all there is to know about masculine power, and we hone it from action and doing and thinking, which is all part of the evolution of consciousness, to the time where we can now hold the mind in perfect silence, and it simply becomes an agent of focus. Just like when we go to the movies, they turn the bright light on. It's the focus of power, the focus of light. The film is imagination and feeling, which is then the feminine aspect that over many incarnations we learn about the fallen feminine of emotion and sadness and grief and loneliness. Again, no judgment, simply growth and unfolding. But then we begin to hone it, refine it, where we begin to love ourselves so profoundly. There's no longer the possibility of sadness or loneliness because we feel the oneness of Source, which is love, that is with us, around us, within, and through us. And so we have fully then assembled the aspect of the divine feminine to love. And whatever we love profoundly and then focus our attention upon and then give light to it, as we then focus the light upon it, it then increases, it grows. And so we become a creator by focusing the light. And that is the mastery of the star tetrahedron, that it becomes an even more dynamic creation because we have assembled divine masculine focusing light, honed in divine union with the feminine of love. And so we focus and love simultaneously, but equally important, the movement of this wave of consciousness and light around, within, and through us. It opens this doorway within the very center. And as it opens, that's within the heart chakra. And as it opens, we then have access to the void where Source, God's Spirit resides. And then as a creator, we can simply imagine and feel. But as we're then allowing Source Spirit to rise forth from the open doorway, it gives life to what we see and feel. And so we're not simply seeing and feeling and creating within this world, which is what we'll be talking about a little bit tonight. So there's, when you see and feel something in this world that you want, you can then focus and make and do and have it. The creatorship of the Christ, the star tetrahedron, you simply focus imagination, loaf and fish. You hold the mind steady and focused upon that. It then is now an image around and within the star tetrahedron. But more importantly than arising forth is spirit that actually gives it life and coalesces it into viable fishes and loaves. So it becomes true creatorship from inside out, which is going to be so exciting as we move forth into this new paradigm, because there will no longer be resource shortages. There will no longer be things that we're needing and wanting. We'll begin to actually create them. So very exciting times. And this brings us to the theme of the talk tonight, which is creating is not by seeing, but creating is by believing. So they found a planet recently that's a very strange planet. And on the planet, everyone gets yesterday's newspapers. That's all there is, yesterday's news. And so people read it and they go, oh, yesterday's news. Well, because they're looking at yesterday's news, lo and behold, it creates then tomorrow's news. And so then tomorrow they get yesterday's news again. Very strange planet. And so people are often lost and confused and they're muddled and they're looking for something to fulfill them. But yesterday's news doesn't do that. Well, lo and behold, that planet is planet Earth. And so everything that you are seeing in the world today, literally everything you're seeing is yesterday's news. It's already happened. It's in front of you, yes, but it's happened because of yesterday's happening and yesterday's news. When you want new news tomorrow, you have to focus your imagination and your feeling. You decide, okay, what is the feeling? What is the seeing from inside out that I would like to create my reality to be? So I had a client up in the Midwest, and for so long she was focused upon not having enough money. Um, Everything was a struggle, everything was difficult. And we've been working over the last couple of years, and she looked at, well, that's again old news. It was what she believed was happening, and because it was demonstrated by looking at the old news, her checkbook, her pocketbook, she often believed it. And so tomorrow's news was lack of prosperity. But over time, you see, she's began to understand that true creatorship is feeling what you're wanting. And so I invited her to bring in the angels of light and begin to focus upon prosperity. What would be the joy of creation? What are you looking for? What am I now, as a creator being, going to be creating? And so, lo and behold, recently she created a brand new, wonderful car. And then prosperity began to flow in all kind of fun, exciting, profound ways. And so she was now focusing upon prosperity is now flowing effortlessly to me. I'm seeing it. I don't know where it's going to come from. I don't know if it's going to be the internet, something that's going to be magic, or whatever it is. But she simply stayed focused upon feeling prosperity, and lo and behold, it simply showed up over and over again. I have another client that I'm working with, and she was believing that in relationship, everything that is seen in the world is nothing that one would really want. It's not fulfilling. Everything is playing the old games. It's difficult to find a relationship that's really filled with magic. And I began to, once again tell her that it's important to see that the relationship I'm imagining, the relationship I'm feeling, is now being honed and refined in my consciousness, and it's already rippling out from me. And I'm no longer looking for a relationship, I'm already attracting it to me. So you see, once again, we're coming to the place of not looking at old news. What does everything look like? Forget about it. What do I want to see? What do I want to feel? What do I want to believe? It comes down to the same idea of your health. If you're looking at the old news of, oh, my health isn't good, I'm not really feeling very good, I'm not very happy, well, that news will simply repeat tomorrow unless you decide to become the creator of your news, which is, I'm going to feel really healthy tomorrow and happy. I'm feeling this dynamic rush of energy coming through me. I'm knowing that ways to then create more health and joys. The angels are bringing that to me. And so you're again putting out that I'm already creating by seeing rather than believing the old news of this has been happening over and over. It's going to happen again. And so it really comes down to what's our belief? What are we really believing deep inside? Because we love ourselves and we found that we can let go of the emotion within, and this childlike magical part of us is alive and full of joy and excitement and enthusiasm. Does a child look at old news? No, everything is new and exciting and adventurous and creative. Two sticks can become magic. So the child doesn't think about old news. It's here looking for what's the fun, exciting, joyful moment that's going to now come next before me. And when we have that part of us, you see, living in and through us, because we have learned to find the emotion within that was, as a child, put upon us by ignorance. Again, we're not judging as bad or wrong anything or anyone, but it was simply ignorant, programmed behavior. And it suppressed us. And then we felt lonely, and then we felt maybe abandoned, and then maybe we felt frustrated. And when I was growing up, finally in my teens, I became angry. And anger is simply an emotion that says, I'm tired of living old news. I want new news. I want to create my reality. I want to be free. I want to know who I am. And so that began really my journey forth into I will create my reality. I didn't necessarily know how or why or when or where. I never worried about that. I simply focused upon what is it I want to see and feel and believe myself to be in the future that's coming for me. And I simply watched it unfold with more grace and joy and happiness and fulfillment. And I'm now living in a place that it was hard to believe that this could happen back then. But lo and behold, I kept simply looking for new news, new beliefs, new creatorship. I took the old newspaper and I rolled it up and I burned it for firewood. That was that. So it's important to really understand that creatorship is about really seeing and feeling what is it you would like to see? What would you like to feel? That's how we then, from the star tetrahedron, we love that. When I'm loving prosperity, I'm loving relationships, I'm loving health, that's the focus of the divine feminine. I'm gathering those qualities, those feelings to me. I'm loving them. I'm holding them close to me. I'm not focused upon old news of I'm feeling sad. I've let go of that. Now I'm over here holding in love the divine feminine of those qualities that would really imagine me to be more free and happy. Now I'm using the divine masculine to focus light upon it. And as I'm holding attention, it's growing, it's flourishing. Now from inside out, I'm doing the star tetrahedron work, and spirits are rising forth. And now is bringing that into literal life. I've become a creator of loaves and fishes, of creating my prosperity, of creating the joyful, magical, healthful world I desire because I believed in me by learning to love me. That's what we do. That's our work, learning to love me, which is already source, already God, already perfect. There's nothing fractured about the soul. It's simply the programs we received in this dimension. The soul is seeking to mirror its golden light, living perfection within form. And by learning how to work through the programs of masculine power, loneliness, frustration, anger, hopelessness, and then learn to love self, we master this dimension. And then we stand free and clear with others and say, this is the way we master this dimension. Now, in a great mass of energy, we're moving forth into this new paradigm that's before us. It's quite beautiful. And yes, we see the old world crumbling away. That's old news. Don't discuss it. Don't dislike it. Don't judge it. Don't criticize it. Just observe it. That's interesting news. I'm not focused upon it. I'm not liking it. I'm not trying to get rid of it. I'm only seeing what is the joy of the becoming. What is the news I'm now going to be creating? And that has to happen. That's the law. Whatever we focus upon and feel becomes real. And so it behooves us to be quite conscious. What am I in my unconscious world? What am I really seeing, feeling, believing, or saying? We can often pick up on keys of what is my languaging? Oh, I'm feeling lonely. Well, once again, when there's the I am, and there's the lonely, that's your news. A part of me is lonely. That's fine. I simply acknowledge that. But over here, I'm already seeing that I'm moving to a new place of excitement and joy. I know where I really want to be going and doing and creating. I'm not going to allow this to simply say, well, it's going to make this happen this way. I'm creating it. I'm going forth. So it's a time of really honing and refining that because everything is speeding up so rapidly in the world of light and energy and consciousness and spirit. It's moving quite profoundly and rapidly around the planet. And with that, yes, it's breaking down the old paradigm. Fine, we just see that and observe it. But it's also empowering and bringing more light and love and joy and possibilities to those of us who know and feel that we're divine creators. We know it, we feel it, we believe it. God, I am. It's never a bigger statement than that. God is everything. God is the tree. God is the rock. Source is the breath you're breathing. It's everywhere present, closer than hands and feet. You can't remove yourself from it. Can you imagine a fish saying, I'm not going to live in the ocean anymore? No, sirree. Well, that's not going to be a fish for very long, but his water that's inside that fish is going to go back to the ocean, and his spirit will come back once again into the ocean, and he'll be a different fish. But when you master the water and you become one with the water, then you simply use the water to inform your creative joy, your mastery, your excitement, your enthusiasm. You live in the water of oneness with all creation, creating new possibilities, expanding the universe, expanding love, expanding joy. So very exciting, my friends, especially as we move forth into 2023. And I thought this is a good thing to talk about creatorship. So our work with the star tetrahedron is quite mystical, magical. I found more and more as I've been working with the star tetrahedron that, of course, we know that there's the energy wave of the star within and through us. But equally important, you see around us, about 9, 10 feet above and 25 to 30 feet all around, is the torus field. Now, the torus field is the field of the divine mind. So this is the torus field, and here in the very center is the star tetrahedron. And so it's mind. This is the divine mind that's around you. The divine mind is learning how to hone and refine its consciousness, to be able to focus light and attention more and more, to be able to love profoundly and imagine clearly. That's mind. And as that happens, you see, the mind then begins to create this living jewel. The living jewel is the star tetrahedron. Once again, the Christ is a mechanism of creation, not a person. It's a mechanism. And it's a mechanism that is created by light, power, and love. And as it's established within you, it opens this magic doorway, and then source, spirit arise forth. And then mind, which is now honed in power and love, it uses the mechanism. Mind focuses consciousness, attention. It sees and feels what would be the joy of its creation. The star tetrahedron is then moving profoundly and quickly. The energy of spirit is arising forth. The facets of the star tetrahedron are now refracting, reflecting, and remembering the joy of your creation. It then simply holographically emanates out from you, and then spirit arises forth and gives life to it. So there's really two aspects, you see. There's that which is the star tetrahedron, the mechanism, and there is the mind that has been honing and refining. It is consciousness, the consciousness of Source God. It is honing and refining the mechanism. The mechanism is the star tetrahedron. So one of the ways that we assist ourselves in this whole process is with our breath work. The reason it's so very important because when we're breathing so profoundly and deeply, we're then literally breathing spirit source from inside out. Again, the open doorway is within the heart. It's into the void. And as we're breathing in oxygen to, again, empower the body, the parts of the body that need oxygen. But equally important now, you see, we're bringing source into the equation from inside out. And so the in-breath is source, which is bringing sparkling, effervescent, liquid golden light out into this dimension. It's moving around and through the facets of the star, and then it's spinning out liquid, living light all around you. Once again, we come back to breathing in. Once again, source energy emanating from up and out. Hold for a couple of counts, gentle exhale, simply letting go. And divine mind is watching this beautiful display of effervescent golden light all around. Once again, mind comes back and observes the opening doorway is now bringing spirit within. And so mind is observing the mechanism. Mind is then observing source arising. Mind is then seeing and feeling it as liquid golden light coming from you, changing the structure of all the cells, the tissues in the body, become more healthful, dynamic, radiant, and light bearing. So let's do the breath work for about 5 minutes. I always like to have the spine nice and erect. It is the rod of initiation from the divine feminine at the base of the spine, connected to Mother Earth. And then top of the head, crown chakra, connected to Father Sky, which creates the I am. So breathing in from the open doorway within the heart. As you are breathing in deeply, you can feel the cells, the tissues of the body expanding. Body is letting go, creating space within, through, and all around. We think we are quite solid. We are mostly space. Feel the space as you breathe through it. In the exhale, the space becomes sparkling, effervescent, sunlight and peace. I am the light. Deep, profound belly breathing, summoning source from the open doorway within the heart. Whatever you imagine source arising to be, imagine it will become it. Greater I am. Good news. Greater I am. When the world keeps feeding us old news, we dismiss it, see and feel greater I am. And a couple of more deep, soulful breaths. When the mind, which is the torus field around us, the true being we are, when it's really focused upon feeling, seeing breath from inside out, the thinking mind cannot be thinking. And so we can find throughout the day if there are small things that arise forth or even big things that want to throw us off center. We now got caught in the old news and we're disliking it or judging it. And now we're feeling some reaction. If we simply remember to come back to the breath as we're breathing, once again, the divine mind, God I am, focused upon the breath. I'm bringing source spirit from inside out. It's golden, liquid, effervescent light. It's now simply infusing everything around me with peace and harmony. And now old news becomes new creatorship. And everything becomes calm and quiet. We come back to center. We're no longer focused upon the old news. I'm at peace. Now, what will I create? What will I see and feel even in the midst of the old news I no longer give my attention to? So, breath is a very important and beautiful part of really honing and refining our consciousness throughout the day. Because we're finding as the world begins to dissolve, we would call it the apocalypse, which is really from the Greek word the letting go. It's the revealing of that which is the truth within. And so, apocalypse is not a bad word. It's simply the revelation of light and truth from within. And of course, the old crustaceans of the old falls away. Well, that's what's happening in the world. And because the light is arising so rapidly within Earth at this particular time, the old news can become quite visceral. The things that are going on, they can really want to get your attention. But that's again part of the breath work. 24/7, we come back to, I'm not going to really focus upon the old news. I'm going to observe it. I'm going to let it go. And I'm going to know what I want to create. I want to know where I'm going to be going. I want to see and feel what I'm going to be doing. And so we continue to create our reality in the midst of the destruction, but then our construction, our focusing of the regeneration of new life and light becomes much more dynamic over time. So once again, it's a honing, refining of divine mind. One of the best ways, of course, is to do that is a really disciplined and dedicated meditation experience because it hones and refines the deep silence within, hopefully twice a day. We're now resting within the divine mind, the torus field. We're now seeing and feeling the mechanism of the star tetrahedron. We're observing it moving, spinning, and as it does, the open doorway is now bringing spirit into this dimension. Creator being I am. I'm practicing creator being I am. And as this liquid effervescent light goes from you, it's changing the body, it's magnetizing into your life new news, new situations, new prosperity and people. Forget about the old news. So I'm going to take you through the formulation of the star tetrahedron, and then we will join together for about 30 minutes and create a marvelous, joyful movement of light and life through all of us. So let's go ahead and close the eyes and feel the body relaxing. Just by closing the eyes and observing the breath, we feel the space within the body. An atom is 99.9% space. Let go, let the tension go, relax. Breath flows effortlessly through every cell and tissue. Like a gentle breeze that simply moves through me. And I relax and let go. The greater being I am brings the tension between the eyebrows. I draw a line straight back and ignite the light within the center point of the head. The light of the soul, pure living light, radiant, and holding attention here, light increasing. It fills the mind, the brain with sunlight and peace. I focus the light to the heart chakra at the sternum, where I imagine, I image in, I see and feel the star tetrahedron, upper triangulation of divine power, lower triangulation of divine love. And in their movement in and through each other, it opens the sacred doorway within the heart. And spirit is arising forth, golden, effervescent, liquid light. And with each breath, bringing more of spirit, more of source in and through. I am the light. I will join with you, and together we will create a magnificence of light flowing around and through all. And very easily now, slowly returning back into the grandeur of the new news of Creator being I am. Really a great, great meditation, my friends. Your light was very beautiful, clear, and strong. We gathered together in a magnificent light wave. So I look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks. Hone, refine your consciousness 24/7. Being observant of loving this childlike self. When emotions come up, breathe into it. It's old news. Love yourself, love the child. Move forth into divine creatorship. We're moving rapidly now into this new dimension. Right here on earth through you and I, my friends. Great blessings.